Hello, I'm Greg Thompson and welcome to NEAFL Eastern Footy Talk, our second show of the final series. And 5 teams got cut down to 4 after the Sydney Hills Eagles was knocked out of the finals race, with Ainslie putting on a show at Manuka Oval. While the Sydney Swans reserves have proven their premiership credentials with an almighty win over the Ainslie Football Club at Blacktown, we'll take a look at those match highlights first, with the red and white showing how it's done. A grand final replay from 2011 saw the Sydney Swans reserves hosting the Ainslie Football Club in Blacktown in qualifying final game 1. A relatively tight opening term with the Ainslie Footy Club troubling the scorers, kicking away 5-1-31 to 4-4-28. That's where the highlights ended for the visitors, the home side kicking away with some strong performances by Tony Armstrong, Andreas Everett and James Dunn up forward. A half-time lead extended in the premiership quarter, with the Swans reserves holding a 64-point lead at three-quarter time. Lewis Broom was simply amazing, along with Jesse White and Dylan McNeil. Jackson Potter proved handy as well, the fourth quarter going the way of the Swans in comprehensive fashion. The Ainslie Footy Club had trouble in the back line, but there were some glimpses of brilliance by a number of their players, including Kane Morris, Rob Toohey, Ken McGregor and Jason Fleming. But it wasn't enough. Respectability on the scoreboard did come back, but it was the Swans 24-17, 161, Ainslie 13, 482. A very impressive performance from the Sydney Swans reserves. They're looking to go one better from last season when they lost the grand final to the Ainslie Footy Club. Some incredible performances. Tony Armstrong and Andreas Everett, they both kicked 4 goals each. Tommy Walsh was extremely solid up forward, and Jesse White, well, he was named best on ground for the home side. And NEAFL Eastern Footy Talk caught up with one of their star players. We saw him on the Gold Coast earlier this season for the Rep weekend. Jackson Potter. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it was a good win. It was pretty tough early on. We lost a couple of players. I think we lost Trent Dennis-Lane pretty early and then made it a bit of a fight, but I think in the second quarter we had a bit of a standout quarter, put a couple of goals on and ran away in the last half, which was good. Not at all. We knew they were a big fight. We were expecting. I think our mindset coming into the game was pretty spot on. We knew they were a great final side. Last year they knocked us off in the grand final, so we knew that they get up when they play us. They get up and in finals they're a great team, so I think it was great by the boys to really get up and use our skills really well and our bigs down the forward line.
Yeah, all smiles at the Sydney Swans reserves. Why wouldn't they be after a performance like that? Different story over at Ainslie. They were battered and bruised after that game. Plenty of the players were hobbling around. Fingers crossed they'll be right to go for their next clash. And you can't write off the Ainslie Footy Club, no doubt about it. They were there last year in the grand final. They are the reigning premiers. And their coach, Chris Rourke, well, he has some tremendous grand final experience. Some standouts. Ken McGregor, former Adelaide Crows forward, he kicked 5 for the afternoon. Rob Toohey chipped in with 2. NEAFL Eastern Footy Talk caught up with Coach Chris Rourke earlier in the week to get his thoughts about the Swans game and the task ahead.
Yeah, very tough. We thought it'd be a big ask to go down there. Obviously, the Swans are playing brilliant footy in both grades, and they were just really strong. Their good players were terrific, and their top-up players, really ran along with them. So, yeah, look, we were disappointed. We thought we played some good footy in patches, but yeah, just not good enough.
All right, this weekend, no doubt you were watching very closely Sunday here at Manuka Oval. What did you make of Eastlake? And this is going to be 2 passionate rival clubs from the nation's capital going absolutely hell for leather.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I thought they were really professional. I thought Tony had them doing all the little things right. I thought they competed for the whole 4 quarters and they just wore them down. I thought they played good, hard, honest footy. Their backline was terrific. Bean and Mules was terrific down there. They were tough in the middle. So, yeah, we expect another big game. There's no love lost between us, and I'd certainly love to beat Tony, and I've got no doubt he'd want to beat me. So we've had some good goes over in the finals, and hopefully we continue to win.
So it's Ainslie going head-to-head with Eastlake this weekend. That will be an absolute belter. 2 rival teams going head-to-head. That game will be played at Manuka Oval, 2 p.m. on Sunday. And it's do or die for both teams, and Eastlake has certainly been there. They had that clash against the Sydney Hills Eagles at the weekend, knocking them out of contention. Let's take a look at the highlights. It was do or die for the Eastlake Footy Club and the Sydney Hills Eagles in the elimination final at Manuka Oval. A tight opening quarter, Eastlake only holding a 1-point lead. Inaccurate kicking cost the Sydney Hills Eagles. Former Carlton player Ryan Houlihan kicked the team's only goal in the opening stanza, a disappointing 1-6. The second quarter was a whole lot tighter and the visitors gained the lead at half-time by 33 points to 27. Eastlake, well, they hit the front in the premiership quarter. Aaron Bruce was strong up forward along with Sam Mardling and Mitch Tailforth. Tim Gray was a brilliant on-baller, and that's what helped Eastlake get over the line in the fourth quarter. They kicked 9-15-69 to the Sydney Hills Eagles 7-12-54. Teddy Strudwick, he was an important player for the Eagles, while teammate John Vlatko, Scott Reed and Jack Dimmery went out season 2012 on a high note. So after a form slump in the latter half of the Eastern Conference competition, Eastlake is back in the winner's circle. 2 wins in a row, both against the Sydney Hills Eagles, but that will do them the world of good. There's no doubt about that. They've been low on confidence and they came out happy as Larry after that game. It was an absolute belter for them. Different story for the Sydney Hills Eagles, though. They have had a very consistent season throughout 2012. The newcomers of the competition. They've been in the top 5 for most of this season, but just ran out of puff in this finals clash against Eastlake. They've had standout performances throughout most of this year, and NEAFL Eastern Footy Talk caught up with some of their star players, Rowan Bilkey and Jamie Vlatko, in the dressing sheds.
Yeah, it's been a long season, a step up for us. So to get this far is a bit of a good effort from us, but we're certainly not happy with that. And to go out to Eastlake, who beat us twice during the year, we really came here this week thinking, we had what it took, but we came up short, unfortunately.
Oh, look, overall, you'll have people to say, yep, pretty successful. Within the group, we think that we could have went further. So, yeah.
Okay, so we see the Sydney Hills Eagles in season 2013. Best of luck for them over the off-season. A big thanks to Tony Moran and Glenn Garner and all the team at Sydney Hills Eagles for making themselves available for footy talk and media appearances. All right, well, the Queanbeyan Tigers, the minor premiers, they've had a week off. They've freshened up, they are ready to go, and some big news this week with 3 player re-signings. Sam Jensen, Steve Jolliffe and Josh Bryce recommitting to the club for next season and beyond. That is a huge boost ahead of their first finals clash. It's a real unknown, the Queanbeyan Tigers. Obviously last year didn't go to plan. This year they bring in a new coach, 22-year-old Cade Klemke from Calcan. What a gamble that's been. It has paid off in a big way. NEAFL Eastern Footy Talk caught up with the rookie coach to get his thoughts about the clash with the Sydney Swans reserves. It's going to be an almighty task.
Yeah, mate, look, it was good time to have a week off. We've got a few injuries against Tuggeranong game that we probably would have been in doubt if we played on the weekend. So, we're very lucky to get that week off and, really make sure we get our bodies right for this weekend. Yeah, look, Ainslie were really good first quarter against them. Their skills, probably the skills is the big one against Swans. They can really hurt you. But if you can get it on, their back line, Swans is probably a little bit of their weakness, and Ainslie's forward line are really good on the weekend. If only Ainslie could get a bit more supply into their forward line, they might have done a bit more damage. But with Swans midfield, they've got the best in the competition, and if you can't, if you can get even with them, you've got a really good chance. And probably that was one thing that Ainslie probably lacked on the weekend, was just got beaten down the middle. And it's pretty hard against a professional side like Swans, who really can day in and out just work on their midfield and their stoppages, and it's hard to contend with.
All right, so the Queanbeyan Tigers, we'll see them in action for the first time of this final series Saturday, 2 p.m. at Manuka Oval against the Sydney Swans reserves. Both games will be streamed live on neafl.com.au both Saturday and Sunday. But get out to Manuka Oval. 2 big games, 1 big weekend, plenty at stake. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely huge for both games. Well, off the field, the Mulrooney Medal is coming up shortly. That'll be held on Tuesday, September 4th, the night of nights for the NEAFL. We'll keep you up to date on Twitter, Facebook and the website. But from all of us here at NEAFL Eastern Footy Talk, I'm Greg Thompson. Enjoy the games and we'll see you next week. Bye.